I have a faded black and white photograph of my father. It's a 2x2 square with a white border and block letters that read capital AUG 73, centered at the bottom. That summer we'd moved from our one-bedroom apartment over Mr. Laverso's house to a 3-bedroom Levitt house on a quiet tree-lined street. It was the only red house on the block and I loved it. We had our own garage, and my father promised me that he'd help me master my first two-wheeler before the summer was out. In the photo, my father's looking back over his shoulder at the camera, and he's holding a paintbrush that's covering the bright red with a flat steel gray. His beard is dark and bushy and covers his cheeks and chin in a way that belies the times. The house would remain 3 sides gray and 1 side red for the next 15 years. I can't remember waking up that day, and I can't remember going to school or doing really anything at all. But I remember the day all right. I was sitting at the kitchen table in my pajamas. I may have had a bowl of cereal in front of me, but I wasn't eating it. And my mom sat to my right in her regular chair by the sink, and my baby sister was on my left. This is the conversation as I remember it. Mom, Frankie, Daddy left. Gina, that's my sister. Well, maybe he'll come back. Me. Why? Why? The morning was overcast and gray. A short time later, I was sitting at my grandfather's kitchen table with my mom and baby sister again. My grandfather was talking on the phone heatedly, but I didn't know who it was. He said into the receiver, "Wait, what'd you say? Repeat that." And he handed the phone to my mom to listen. And she listened quietly, turning increasingly red, and a tear rolled down. And she handed the phone back, and my grandfather said, "Well, what if I told you she was sitting right here? Hello?" And then I realized that it was my father, and he had hung up the phone. Age 15. I was in the living room, watching television, when a car door slammed in front of my house. And I got up to look, and my father was coming up a walk. I froze. I hadn't seen him since I was 5 years old. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. My mom came in from the kitchen and let him in the front screen door. His hair was curly, and his sideburns were thick. He wore bell-bottom jeans, leather shoes that zipped up the side, and a brown blazer. He held my eye contact for a few seconds before he just picked me up and held me. And no words were spoken until I asked, "You don't have the brown Buick convertible anymore?" We went to Jolly Rogers that weekend, the 4 of us. He bought us all Nathan's hot dogs, French fries in the paper cups with the 2-pronged wooden forks. And we rode the carousel together, sitting next to each other on the bench while my sister rode the horse in front of us. I think my mom set that one out. Time passed. He used to call sometimes, and I was afraid of a distant voice on the phone. I was 19 and was leaving for college in a week when the phone rang. "Hello?" The pause and the static on the line clued me into the caller right away. 4 years had passed since I watched him walk up to our house in his brown blazer. "I want to give you my number in case you ever want to get a hold of me." 15 years had passed since I sat at the kitchen table on an overcast and gray morning. "Okay, but you gotta promise me something." Pause. Static. "You have to promise me never to call here again." I kept the number in my wallet for a long time, and he kept his promise for 6 months. My mom. "Hello? Collect call from Frank. Will you accept the charges?" "Yes." "Hey, what are you do calling me collect?" "Well, why'd you accept the charges?" "I thought it was my son." "Well, where is he?" "He's on his way home from college." "College?" "Yes." He must have found that difficult to believe because my father hung up the phone again. Age 37. "Hello?" It was the same voice on the phone. "Yeah, hi. This might sound a little crazy, but my name is Frank Curtelli, and I was wondering if you were my father." "Is your mother's name Frances?" "Yeah." And your sister's Gina Marie? Yeah. How are you, Frankie? I'm okay, Dad. How are you? I'm okay. It's good to hear your voice. Yeah, it's good to hear yours too. How'd you get this number? It's pretty amazing what you can find on the internet. Yeah, I guess so. How's your life? It's good. I've been looking for you for a while because I wanted to let you know, I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I'm happy. I'm so glad, Frankie. His voice was beginning to warm up. You married? Yeah, about 5 years now. 2 stepkids too. It's good. That's great, Frankie. How about you? You got a girl or anything? No, not right now. Well, you get it when you can, I guess. He chuckled. You talked to your mom recently? No, not really. She's a little mad at me right now. Why is that? I'm not really sure. Sometimes I think something in me reminds her of you. Do me a favor? What's that? Mend fences. I wanted to ask you for a favor too. What's that? Can I call you again sometime? Yeah, I'd like that. Thanks. I'm glad I found you. Yeah, I'm glad too. Thanks for calling me, Frankie. I'll talk with you again soon. I called him back about a month later, and the phone had been disconnected. We wouldn't talk again for 2 years when he was in a Florida VA hospital dying of lung cancer. Do you want me to come and see you? I would love for you to come and see me, but you don't have to, I understand. I didn't call for a week after that. I tried half-heartedly to find a flight, but my long list of requirements made it kind of unrealistic and virtually impossible. I suppose I could have called a travel agent or told my hardship story to the guy at the airport. People actually do that sort of thing with pretty positive results. Was it me running away this time? When we spoke on the phone again, it was like talking to a different person. I could hear the rattle in his chest, and he was scared. I talked to him for a while. Just gentle words of comfort. No questions he couldn't answer. No accusations or confrontations or expectations. I didn't really care about the answers anymore anyway. I told him over and over that everything would be all right. And at one point, the rattle in his chest just stopped. And I was convinced he died right there on the phone. But then it returned again with a jolt. My last phone call to the Florida VA hospital was with the ICU nurse. My father was no longer able to speak. I need you to give him a message for me. It's really important. I spoke through tears. Oh, okay. From the tone of her voice, it seemed like she thought the call was odd. I'm his son. I can't get there. It's okay, honey. I need you to tell him I forgive him. Can you please tell him I forgive him? I will. It's going to be okay. I'll give him the message. Thank you.